Welcome to day 2 of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix World Series heats being held in Horsham, Australia. The day for our pilots started out very similar with our 10 a.m. morning briefing and the usual weighing of all the sailplanes as they moved to the start line. The task was very similar to yesterday as well, with a start at Horsham Aerodrome, moving over to Japarit, then heading down to Manu before returning via the checkpoint. We asked a couple of our pilots about how they think they'd go today, so let's hear from some of them now.
Like today?
I think it'll be better than yesterday, more reliable than yesterday. Yesterday
Right.
was long stretches of hard work.
Yeah.
But today should be more reliable, regular, I think.
Yes.
Depending on that cloud, but
Yes.
as that cloud moves away, we should be all right.
I think today, if the high cloud stays away, then we should get reasonable thermal conditions for the whole flight, at least up to 5,000 or 6,000 feet. So with that prospect, the day should continue later and give us a good chance of getting home, which will be nice.
With all of our pilots sorted out, we launched them back off into the Wimmera skies for another fantastic day of gliding. Now I'm going to hand you over to our contest director once again to give you the brief summary of how everything went for the day.
The first leg was quite quick for most competitors. Nearly all of them stayed together. Bill Gawthrop in Foxtrot 8 was a little behind. From the first waypoint at Japarit, the field slowed down. On the interwind leg, Bill was still well behind, but the others were staying very closely together, except for Andrew Georgeson, who got low and had to break off and come home. The others stayed together for most of that period. It was mainly survival tactics at that time, and the real racing started when they passed the waypoint at Manu. At that point, the group broke up quite a bit, and a group led by Peter Temple and Mark Tingey got ahead and came home first, with the other gliders following quite close behind. There were also 3 gliders who failed to finish and landed in fields before the finish.
At the end of the day, Peter Temple came in first, Sean Fiddler second, and Mark Tingey came third. So let's hear about the winner's strategy.
Well, as most pilots found today, it was had the day with its challenges. The first leg was okay, apart from the scrabble through the start at low altitude, but once we got past that, it worked pretty well. The second leg was under the shadow of Cirrus, so it was pretty soft through there, and basically everyone went round as a gaggle through there. I tried to stay on top of the gaggle, waited for other people to lead out, which basically worked fairly well, for me anyway. And then going into the second turn, it was pretty soft through there, so we all knew we kind of had to glide in and then get out of there and get back to the sunshine. And so, right through the whole day, the lead changed, considerably, based on, who'd had the best climb before and where you were in the gaggle. And what made the real difference was all 3 of us were in one climb, not that far after the second turn. Ended up being 5 to 6 knots, and most people were struggling at 1 to 2 knots at that time, and that gave the 3 of us a pretty big jump. And I think it might have been actually final glide from there, or very close to final glide from that point. So that was a fun glide after that.
After the awards ceremony, we asked Peter Temple what he thought about the Sailplane Grand Prix format.
Well, it's quite different. This is interesting. I mean, you know that if you all first pass the line, that you won, which is a really good feeling. So, if you see another glider just in front of you, if you can actually beat them home, then you know you've actually done it. So, and that actually worked well today because I was just behind Sean, sort of 40 kilometres out or so, and about the same height. So if we'd been in equal gliders at that time, then he would have beaten me home. However, we carry large amounts of water ballast, and I was almost full of water ballast and he was only half full, which means that I can glide much faster, and overtook him coming home. So that worked to my benefit there, so it was good. A lot of fun to overtake somebody on the final glide.
This concludes the daily summary for this race. Thank you once again for all of our major sponsors and our partners, everyone who's assisted us in being able to put on this heat of the Sailplane Grand Prix. I look forward to you coming back tomorrow to hear about the next day's racing.